All right, hey, we're the brothers here out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. This is Gamali Allah.
And I'm Radah.
All right, and first and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh, by Hashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai, by Hashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, as you see on the title, it says NATO is crumbling right before our eyes. And, basically, I mean, the title speaks for itself. With everything going on right now, Trump is pissing off his allies. All right, and so we're gonna go into a little bit of history of NATO. All right, because we know that the NATO is spoken of in the Book of Revelations when you go into really 17th, 18th, and the 20th chapter. All right, it goes into the beast. 13th chapter 2. But it goes into the beast, all right, which that beast is NATO and the EU, all right, and we're seeing that system crumble right before our eyes, and that's the power of Esau, man. You know, that's how Esau has been able to stay in power all these years, is through NATO, through these countries in the North Atlantic, staying in contact with each other and having each other's back. You know, so first let's go into what NATO is. Let me see. If you want to get it first, whoever gets it.
Be fast on the phone.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is an AI overview. It says NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a political and military alliance of 32 countries from North America to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Says established in 1949 to guarantee the freedom and securities of its members through collective defense, primarily defined by Article 5's principle that an attack against one ally is an attack against all. Says it serves as a security grantor for the transatlantic community, promoting democratic values and enabling members to consult and cooperate in defense and security issues.
Right. And so let me see. Now we're gonna ask. One second. So yeah, basically, there are countries that they deal with each other financially. They deal with each other because when you're dealing with countries, what do you have? Finance, war, and trading. Finance, war, and trade. You know, and so and protection, of course, that goes into war. But basically, you have each other's back. You know what I'm saying? You have good deal. You do good deals between each other. You barter between each other, and you protect each other. So let's see. Now, this is the EU. It says, because I asked it, is NATO and EU the same? It says the members of EU and NATO are distinct, and some EU members, and the EU is the European Union, by the way, formerly known as the EEC, the European Economic Community, I believe. All right, but it says, and some EU states are traditionally neutral on defense issues. Let's see. The EU and NATO have respectively 27 and 32 member states, of which 23 are members of both. Okay, so basically they basically go hand in hand. So that's why we say the beast system is comprised of NATO and the EU, because 23 of what the 32, 23, you know, that's more than 2/3 of NATO is a part of the EU. I believe I said that correctly, but they basically go hand in hand. You know, they all are in cahoots with each other, and the European Union originally started at 7. All right. And that's Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, Greece, Great Britain, Rome, and Italy. Okay, and that's the seven. Those are the seven heads spoken of in Revelations. All right, and so that's the set. Those are the seven heads. All right, and those are the primary power structures within Esau's system. All right, those are the primary power countries, you know, that kind of move and shake. You know, Rome being, you have the Vatican, and then you have America being the financial aspect of it, and then you have
London, right?
London. I'm sorry, London. Yeah, London being the financial aspect of it, and then you have America being the military aspect of it. So through that conglomerate, they're able to control the earth. So we're going to Esau's blessing and his power. All right, but we're seeing this system dismantle as we speak. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that in Revelations, and we'll start at let's see. We're gonna go to 17, but we'll start at yeah, let's go to 8.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 8. It says the beast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Start at 7. Start at 7.
That's a lot.
Uh-huh.
This book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 7, it says, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman.
Yeah, because the woman, when you read up to 5, it talks about the mother of harlot, the Babylon. It says the mystery of Babylon, the great, all right, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth, which is America. All right, but it's going to further expound in verse 7. It says, I will tell thee the mystery of the woman. Go ahead.
It says, and the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns.
You're right. And so that 7 heads and 10 horns, which we mentioned, is NATO and the EU. Now, it said the beast. What did it say? The beast carrieth her. So the woman, all right, this mystery woman, the whore, is riding the beast. She, you know, that whore is on top of the beast. What does that mean? That means that NATO, America, relies on the beast. The beast is basically supporting America. That's where a lot of that's where America gets its power and that's where America gets its power from. All right, it's through this beast. All right, you got it.
It says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were...
Right, and that bottomless pit is Europe. Okay. All right, but it said it shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. So it's gonna be through. All right. And go ahead.
It says, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
Yeah, so that beast is gonna basically lose its power. Okay, so because it says it was and is not, so it's no longer gonna be a threat or power in the earth. All right, keep going.
It says, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth,
which is 7 governments, right? Keep going.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
Yeah, and like we said, that I believe that 7 kings, which we said, which is the 7 heads, which I mentioned. All right. I don't want to butcher this. Let's see. Yeah. So the 7 kings, 5 are fallen and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. I believe that now, if I'm not mistaken, the other that is not yet come, that's talking about America, because it hadn't been established at this point. If I'm not mistaken, I don't want to butcher that. I'm gonna go back through it, do a lesson on it. Let's see. Here's the point I really want to get, which is hold on one second.
I think you're right, Cap, being America.
Mm-hmm. Because I believe that one that was is talking about Rome. All right, because Rome was done away with, and then it said that the beast. Now, like I said, I'm gonna go back through it. You know, let's go to. Let's skip to 16. I want to go to 16 because this is really what we're seeing as we speak. All right, which is NATO crumbling. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire."
Yeah, and so those 10 horns, which we established, right? All right, it says they saw. It says they shall hate the whore. All right, which that whore, which we said being America. All right, and it says gonna make her desolate and naked. So there's gonna be thermonuclear fire that's going to hit America, which is gonna make it desolate. It's gonna make it a desert land. All right, and it said they're gonna burn it with fire. With fire, what does that mean? Nuclear ICBM missile fire. All right, and it says they shall hate the whore. Why are they gonna hate the whore? Because America does dirty deals. All right, you're seeing this whole situation in Greenland, which we're gonna get in a second. This whole situation in Greenland is pissing all them off because Greenland is a NATO country. So by them doing that, they're violating the terms of NATO. So now, because you are violating international law and this treaty, it just basically dismantles because you're supposed to be America. You're the main country that's holding up this deal because you're the most powerful country. So if you're not following the terms, then that basically nullifies the whole treaty,
Right.
the whole North Atlantic Treaty Organization. You know, so that's how this devil gets down. All right, he does dirty deals, man. He doesn't stick to his word. All right, what did it say in Daniel? I believe it said they prescribe grievousness. You know. Keep going.
17.
Yeah.
Says, "For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled."
Yeah. So basically, and this is all the words of the heavenly. This is all prophecy. All right, this is all the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. He says he's going to put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. What does that remind me of? Proverbs 21, Lord putteth his, the king's, put it in the king's heart, you know? Yeah, the king's heart is in the hands of the Most High, you know? So he's going to put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree, all right? It says, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, all right? Did we read 18?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth."
All right, which is Babylon, aka America. All right, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, and that's matter of fact, let's go from there to Jeremiah 51. And I guess you could start at maybe 6. And then we'll go back to that article.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance."
Yeah. So be not. First of all, this is a warning to men. It says, don't flee out of the midst of Babylon. Okay, not physically, but mentally and spiritually. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Be not cut off her iniquity, because this place is wicked. You know that America is totally through and immoral.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Says he will render unto her a recompense.
Yep, he will render unto her. He will render unto her recompense, a payback. Go ahead.
Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yeah, and so it's been a golden cup. The Lord exalted Babylon above the whole earth. All right. That's a good one. Thawada, Shalom to the Akim on the common board too. I believe that's a precept from the two brothers quoted that precept. So we'll get Yashimai, Shalom, Nathaniah. Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. Right. So, yeah, he put forth his hand, such as that's a great one, Akim, because these NATO was a peace treaty. It was basically a treaty. That's what treaty means, is you make peace with one another, right? Now, he put forth his hand against them, which is Greenland. You're supposed to be at peace with Greenland. Greenland is a part of NATO. All right, but you put forth your hand against it, so you're the devil. All right, you put. That's why the scriptures say, "King." Oh, well, let's get that. How can this kingdom stand?
Divided.
Mm-hmm. That's Matthew 12 and 26.
Like,
25. Start at 25.
the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 25 says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand."
Yeah, so every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Yeah, so how can NATO stand? How can this kingdom, which is NATO is the biggest proponent of Esau's kingdom, right? So how can this kingdom last? How can Esau stay in power? All right, if it's divided, it can't. All right, keep going.
It says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?"
Yeah, so, and then we could even extend that to Russia, because Russia is the Edomites too. You know, they're supposed to be really Esau's supposed to be all in on the same accord. Israel, Russia, America, they're all Edomites. They're all Edomite nations. All right, Europe. I think I mentioned Europe, but these are all Edomite ran countries. All right, so they're all supposed to be in the same. Look, we're all Edomites. Let's just all stay on top and keep these other nations down. But here they are, they're divided. So that's Satan divided against Satan, because they're all devils at the end of the day, but they're all division. There's so much division among each other that they can't stand. You know? Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, and history proves that, man. Even going back to how they did the Native Americans, but like Cap said, you would think they'll be on the same page. But, at the end of the day, this man is wicked, and hey, the Lord is turning them against each other, man.
That's right. We were in that Jeremiah 51.
Okay.
Keep going on that. And then we'll go to that. Matter of fact, we'll go back to that Jeremiah 51. Go to that article, because basically we're gonna go into the meat of the lesson, which is NATO being dismantled. All right, because this whole Greenland situation is really taking a turn for the worst as far as NATO. You got it.
All right, this is from the AI overview. Asking if the U.S. and NATO, is at having friction.
Mm-hmm.
It says yes, as early as 2020, as of early 2026, the United States and other NATO allies are experiencing significant friction.
So this is recent. As of early 2026, this is recent because and we're just in the first month of January, man. That's how you know the Lord is making these things happen. The Lord is dismantling. He's really dismantling his horde, and we're seeing it first. We're seeing it. Go ahead.
It says primarily driven by the America First policies of the Trump administration, which have raised doubts about the U.S. commitment to the alliance.
Yeah, so this guy Trump, he's all about America first. All right, he's like, to hell with these other countries, man. We got to well, not we, but in his eyes, we got to put ourselves first. Right. We got to prioritize America, because his whole slogan, remember years ago, was "Make America Great Again."
And this second time was America First, right? I think.
Was it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, his second slogan was America First.
Yeah, well, that's clearly what he's doing. All right, and he doesn't give a damn. He's doing whatever the hell he wants, man. Because he's got this ice. There's so much going on right now. It's crazy. This guy Trump is really rearranging this whole, and this Spirit of Lord is on Trump, man. Not for righteousness, to fulfill his will.
Right.
It's not like Trump is doing anything right in the eyes of the Lord. No, he's just a puppet. He just, Lord is, the Heavenly Father is orchestrating and working his mind to basically fulfill these prophecies, to piss off the beast. The beast shall hate the horse. So this has to come to pass. You got it. And we believe Trump is the guy, because who else would it be? It wasn't who was before Trump. It wasn't Biden. You're damn sure it wasn't Biden. Trump is the one that he's pissing everybody off. He's the bad guy, so to speak. Go ahead.
It says, based on reports from January 2026, key areas of friction include Greenland threats. It says the White House has not ruled out using military force to acquire Greenland, a territory of NATO ally Denmark, a move described by some as a major threat to alliance unity.
Yeah, Denmark is a NATO ally. All right, and so yeah, by him doing that, that's no good. That's no good. They're looking at it like, what the hell? Like that's like you have a group of friends, and then that's like you have a group of friends, right? And then the leader, maybe you got the leader of the group or whatever, and he trying to he's like, man, yeah, that one of the guys out of the group, you like, yeah, I'm gonna take his lunch today. I'm gonna take all his stuff. I'm just
right.
You're gonna be like the other members. I'm like, what? Like, what you mean? Like, why? It's fucked up.
Yeah.
So that's how they looking at it. They're like, yo, man, this nigga tripping.
Yeah.
Like, damn, he a member of the group. You just gonna take from him? You got it.
It says reduced trust. It says transatlantic trust has significantly eroded, with many European allies viewing the U.S. as a necessary partner rather than a trusted ally.
Yeah, so eroded meaning basically is faded. Okay, it's done away. It's it's rusted. It's going away with. So it says they look at America like a necessity, not a trust.
Right.
We don't trust you, but we need you.
Yeah.
Like I said, the friend group, you got the one that the one that got the popularity and influence, and you know what I'm saying, like got all the money, and you know what I'm saying, like the leader of the group.
What they call frenemy? That's my frenemy.
Yeah, frenemy. You know what I'm saying? You the leader of the group, so it's like they kind of need you to stay relevant. They kind of need you. You know what I'm saying? Because you lit. You the one paying for everything. Y'all go out. They paying for everything. They got the status. They got this. They got that. So they like, we kind of need you, but we don't trust you. Like at the end of the day, we don't really rock with you like that. But you know what I'm saying? Fuck it. We keep going.
It says defense spending and support. It says friction remains over burden sharing.
And it's mainly about the support. I'm sorry, the military. That's really the main thing. It's the protection. Just to put that in, it ain't really about like, using that analogy, the friend group, it's really more so that friend is strong as hell, big and strong as hell, and can beat anybody's ass.
Right.
Except, but then you got other big enemies, such as Russia and China. So America's really not looking so big anymore. America used to have, America, don't get me wrong, America got, power because look at how they took out Venezuela. Everybody's saying, they're saying that America came in Venezuela with some high level technology, but yeah, that's the reason why they're rocking with America still, is out of necessity, because these are weaker nations. That's why when you read Joel 3, it says, "Behold, the weaker nations have become strong." And that's due to these alliances. All right, these smaller nations, they're able to be strong through bigger nations that can protect them as well. Right. Because if one go to war, we all go to war, and that's Article 5, which we're gonna get in the NATO agreement. You have what's called Article 5. All right, go ahead.
It says defense spending and support. It says friction remains over burden sharing and continued pressure on allies to increase defense spending, alongside concerns that the U.S. may reduce its security guarantees in Europe.
Yep. So this is Article 5. It says the alliance's commitment to Article 5. It says NATO's collective defense agreement. That means an attack against one shall be considered an attack against all. It is the core of NATO's existence, evolution, and unparalleled strength. So that's the main thing. That's what keeps NATO strong, is because you fuck with one of us, you fucking with all of us. Right. Now I want to ask this. 1 second. Okay, so I said, why is Article 5? Matter of fact, you might gotta ask it from your phone because I'm not getting the AI one. Why is Article 5 NATO at risk?
It says, as of January 2026, Article 5 of the North Atlantic Treaty is considered at risk primarily due to unprecedented internal divisions within the alliance and shifting geopolitical threats.
Yeah, so just like we've mentioned, which is those threats from Trump. All right, but it said divisions. So that's what we read, those divisions. How can this kingdom be divided? How can this kingdom stand if it's divided? So those divisions is what's what's making NATO through. All right. And also, not to mention these tariffs, we got to mention that because I just read another article. It says Trump sent shockwaves across the Atlantic on Saturday by intensifying his aggressive demands for Greenland as he pushes his art of the deal foreign policy to extremes. He said Saturday he'd impose a 10% tariff on any and all goods from Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, and the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland, starting February 1st, to increasing increasing to 25% on June 1st. So this devil putting tariffs on them. He like, all right, fuck it. He's America first. All right, and he's using this art of the deal. The art of the deal, I propose, I haven't looked into it, but I can almost imagine that the art of the deal has to do with, because when you deal in business, you basically starving out your competitors. So you basically saying like, all right, bet, like y'all don't want to rock with me. Y'all not. I want to take out Greenland. I want to rob Greenland. Y'all not rocking with me. Well then, now I'm about to put more taxes on y'all. Now I'm about to give y'all a hard time.
I appreciate that.
You know, so that's the art of the deal. The art of the deal is basically like shit. Well, now I'm a up it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna double down on it. Like, all right, y'all want to rock with this with my idea? Then you know y'all get what I'm saying. But you got it. You got something.
Daniel 7. I mean, I could just jump to 20.
Okay.
This book, Daniel chapter 7, I just go to 20. It says, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, before whom 3 fell, even that horn had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
You got it.
And that's what you're seeing. You know, Trump is boasting in America, you know, embarrassing the other nations in NATO. You know, he's insulting them, you know, making them look low level, man. And, you know, pretty much just being an arrogant Edomite, you know. But, you know, he's showing his horns. His look is more stout than his fellows, all the other members of NATO, man. You know.
Let's get that word stout.
Okay.
Oh, you got the blue arrow there. Okay.
This is stout. In the Hebrew is rab. It says great, chief, captain.
Yep. So just like I said, he's that boss in the friend group. You know, like he's a boss among, you know, just like you got like lackeys and people who are kind of like, you know, you got the, like, you know, you ever seen a friend group? You got one that's kind of like the lit, like maybe a celebrity or somebody, but the people around him is like yes men. They're kind of like up under him, like kind of do boys and shit like that. You know, they not on the same level, you know, but that's America. Okay, America keeps friends. You know, America has allies, but they smaller countries, but they rely on America, so they could kind of really, America kind of can get away with certain shit. You know what I'm saying? But they eventually gonna say, man, fuck this. They eventually gonna meet with each other and say, man, look, we Xing this nigga out the group.
Right.
The beast shall hate the ore. And eventually they're gonna be like, look, man, we about to just bomb this shit, bro.
America is really like a what you call it, like a detriment to everybody else. You know, no, they don't want to be destroyed, along with, you know, America. You know, they trying to survive too. So hey, that's why they gonna come up against Babylon the Great.
That's it. Yep. We can go back in that. Oh, you got more?
Well,
let me see. Let me see it real quick. We'll get a couple more because my phone getting ready to die. Let's see. Yeah, I got a few more minutes. We'll get ready to wrap up. Let's go to okay, we could drop that Article 5. Go back to that original the one we had before that, and then you could just get the key points on that, and then we'll finish up in Jeremiah.
I think I was at strategic. All right, there's one more point. Another point, it says strategic divergence. It says the U.S. is increasingly focusing its military attention on Asia, which has caused anxiety among European allies who rely on the U.S. for security against Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Says, despite these tensions, the alliance has not broken apart. Some analysts believe this friction might compel European nations to develop more independent defense capabilities.
Yeah. So, basically, Russia being a threat in the Eastern Hemisphere, Russia being a key player, Russia and China are they're key players in this thing too. So these other NATO countries, they need protection against Russia. You know, you got America in the West, and then you got Russia and China in the East. All right, which are the bigger bigger pieces, puzzle chess pieces. And so so these other countries, like I said, these smaller nations, they rely on the bigger nations, and so that's basically what we're getting at. And so the let's continue that in Jeremiah and go to a point, because eventually America's just going to be destroyed, and that's biblical prophecy. You had this guy Tazariak and Guerrilla Hebrew. They got up there on debate. They debated with this guy Cooley, this podcaster. And the podcasters are asking them questions like, hey, what makes y'all prophets? Why how can y'all say y'all prophets? Why don't y'all fucking go into this?
Right.
Well, yeah, this is why we're prophets, because we're prophesying the downfall of America. And then bring this out, bring out the evidences, and who is this person in the Bible? Who's that person in the Bible? Why is this? You got to just drown them in prophecy, man. That's the best way you debate.
Mm-hmm.
What you fucking do is just dancing around, that's why we don't debate, but you got it.
All right, start back at 7. This book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed.
Yep. And so when we read America made all the other nations, Babylon, which is America, made all the other nations drunken through what? The philosophies, through democracy, through just the way capitalism, all these different wicked way, the ideology in general, just everything about America influenced these other countries in the world through its media and all these different things, immorality.
Right.
All right, but it said it's going to be done away with, man. The Lord's going to destroy it and bring that judgment. We had a precept on the comment board. It's Obadiah 1 and 7 from the brother Nathaniel. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. That's a great one. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, because when you read up in that Obadiah, it goes into I have made thee small again among the heathen. Talking about Esau, but really, and then really the Lord, raised him up, to be this powerful nation. But it says all the men of thy confederacy, which is NATO. It's a confederacy. They're confederate. They're loyal to each other. All right, but it says they have deceived those were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So yeah, they deceiving you whole time. These nations are really deceiving you. Okay, they're gonna eventually destroy and turn their backs against America. All right. So that was pretty much it, right? We went to the destruction, and did we get to that?
Let's see. Salaki.
No, you good. I think that was the point, right?
Well, it's 9. I can go to 9.
Go to. We already read 8, right? Okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. Because I mean, if we get 9, then we got to get 10, then we got to get. And y'all brothers have read this stuff, but basically going into and phone's getting ready to die too. Yeah, his phone's getting ready to die. So yeah, we'll end with that. Lord willing, brothers will edify, and we end off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the Akim pushing out this truth and sincerity. Shalom.